if you would like to have the practice later, you can download it and then save it. Okay, so I'm going to tilt my monitor up. Let's go ahead and start standing today. So take a moment first just to feel your feet on the earth. And let's find a fairly wide stance today. So not traditional Tadasana or mountain pose, something that allows you to feel rooted and grounded to the earth. You can let your toes point out a little bit, maybe to a 45-degree angle. And let's just start by bringing our hands to our hearts. Find some nice deep breaths. Really give your body that full freedom of air. And then we'll begin to feel that connection of breath and movement on your next inhale. Roll your spine out nice and long, standing tall and proud. Exhale to soften, melt your shoulders. And then inhale, lifting, rising, lengthening. And exhale to soften. On your next exhale, release your hands down by your sides, and on your inhale, sweep them out to the sides, up overhead. Exhale through heart center. Let's feel that again. Inhaling, opening, expanding. This time on your exhale, bend your knees, high malasana. Inhale to open. And exhale to soften. And as we flow right here, just notice if it would feel better to take a wider stance. Now in the school of yoga in which I trained, which is prana flow, we always begin with an opening movement meditation. So allow this movement to become fluid, to become intuitive. And if you notice that it would feel good to linger in one particular part of this stretch, or to change the pattern entirely, feel empowered to do so. To just begin to feel into where your body needs to open. And then gently and gradually begin to find your way back to standing. Once more, draw your hands to heart center when you arrive. Set your intention for your practice this morning, the energy you choose to cultivate right here in this moment. And once that intention is set, simply release your hands down. Let's find Tadasana at the top of the mat. Letting this first Tadasana be conscious, root down into your feet, draw up on your inner arches, engage your core so your tailbone lengthens, shoulders roll back and down, palms face forward. Inhale to sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to fold, pouring forward over your legs. Take a moment here, surrender fully, let your head be heavy. Bend your knees enough that your fingertips can touch down, and on your inhale, step your right foot back to lunge. And let's find a core pulse right here. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, scoop your belly in. Let that left leg begin to straighten out. Inhaling to lengthen. And exhaling, scooping in. And as you pulse, I'm just going to lower my monitor a little bit so you can see more clearly. Out, go on, out you go. And I'm going to eject a cat. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Plant your hands, press it back. Downward facing dog, and walk it out. Stabilize your downward facing dog. Come into stillness. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, slowly roll your way all the way out to plank. Let's build a little heat right here in plank. Remember, if this gets to be too much, you can lower your knees to the mat. On your exhale, coil your belly in. Inhale, let your heart and your heels reach away from each other. And then exhale to coil. So just a little pulse. We feel it more than see it. On your next exhale, lower your knees down to the mat, find half plank. With control, float your body all the way down to the earth. Let's bring our fingertips wide. They can come off the mat. Begin to roll one shoulder and then the other through creative cobra. So just finding openness, fluidity here. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders, turn your toes under, press back. Downward facing dog. And again, a little movement here. We're still just warming up, just stretching out. And if you've been doing a lot of walking lately, and I definitely have, let's take a moment to stretch out that back body. And then stabilize your downward facing dog. Come to stillness. On your inhale, sweep your right leg to the sky and let's turn that right toe out. So we're just going to sustain right here in three-legged dog for a few breaths. Press through both heels, feeling plenty of length, that right toe turning out, already opening that hip joint. On your next exhale, coil your right knee in, shift forward, and place your foot between your hands. Remember that multi-step movements are fun. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, scooping in, that right leg straightening. Inhaling to lunge. Exhaling, that strong core drawing us in and up. Let your next inhale bring you forward to lunge. Exhale, step together. Bend your knees, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. And I know I'm decapitated on your screen right now, but we're coming back down, so we'll leave it as is. Reset your Tadasana if it moved. Re-engage your core, keep that heart nice and open. On your inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. This time, inhale, halfway rise. Roll your heart away from your hips. Exhale to soften. Inhaling, halfway rise. And exhale one more time, Ardha Uttanasana. And this time on your exhale, both hands down. Inhale to step your left foot back to lunge. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, shift back. This time, right toes rise. Get that deeper stretch. Inhaling forward to lunge. Exhaling, scooping back. Inhaling to open. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Plant your hands. Press it back, downward facing dog. Settling and then rooting. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, roll your body all the way out to plank. Inhale right here. Exhale, exhaling, rolling back to downward facing dog. Inhale, and then exhale, roll your way out. Please don't hit my face. Inhale here, and then exhale, rolling back. And we'll just flow between plank and downward dog a couple more times. letting that movement originate in the belly, feeling that gorgeous waveform pattern of the spine. Roll all the way through, and this time move through your vinyasa. Once you find yourself back in downward facing dog, inhale to sweep that left leg to the sky. Let's find that same opening on this side. Left toes dial out to the side, root through both heels. A few breaths right here. On this exhale, coil your left knee in, shift forward, place that foot. Stabilize your lunge, and then we'll find the pulse. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, scoop back, left toes rising. Inhaling forward to lunge. And exhaling back. Again, just following your breath. Remember, we all breathe at a different rate. What's most important is that your movement and your breath line up. So even if that puts you on a different pace than me or than with anyone you're practicing with, it's totally okay. Let your next inhale bring you to lunge. Exhale, step together and fold. Surrender here, let your head be heavy. Find a little movement if it would feel good. Come back to stillness. Bend your knees, exhale, roll your way up. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Reset Tadasana here at the top of the mat. Inhale, find that rising energy. Exhale to fold. Now, this time we're going to plant our fingertips at the top of the mat. And if your body is like mine, where you have very tight hamstrings, you might want blocks here. On your inhale, sweep your right leg to the sky. We're going to let that hip open out to the right. Exhale, coil knee to knee. And then inhale, open towards standing split. Exhaling, coiling knee to knee. Inhaling, standing split. So this is our little pulse right here. Again, feeling this pattern linked up with your breath. On this next exhale, step your right foot all the way back to lunge, and this time we'll lower that right knee down. Walk your hands up your left knee. On your inhale, sweep your fingertips forward and up. Exhale, opening out, stretching across your chest. Inhale. Exhale to open. Now, this is a great spot for lion's breath if you're feeling some stress. On your next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Turn your right toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to roll your body out to plank. This time on your exhale, drop your heels to the right, and that left hand can come to your heart. Inhale to center. Exhale over to the left, right hand coming to the heart. Exhaling to center. And we'll just shift from side to side here, remembering squeeze through your side waist. Come all the way back to center. Lower your knees, shift your shoulders forward, and float your way down. Bring your fingertips wide again just because it feels nice. Give your shoulders a couple of rolls. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders and press it back. Downward facing dog. So come into down dog. We'll bring those toes to touch at the back of the mat. Inhale to sweep your right leg to the sky. This time, bend your right knee. Press your heel toward the left side. We'll inhale to soften that extension a little bit. Exhaling, pressing that heel away. So again, cultivating that pulse of prana, that feeling of the breath and movement in connection with each other. On your next exhale, coil your right knee in, shift forward, place your foot. We're going to lower that left knee down, walk your hands up, and let's find those full moon arms. Inhale. Exhaling. And remember, lion's breath here if you need it, right? On this exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Turn your left toes under to lift that back knee. Look forward and shift your weight into your right foot. Find your blocks if you were using them. Inhale to float that left leg to the sky. Exhale to coil knee to knee. Inhale to open. Exhaling to coil. And remember, when we go into extension and standing split, you can open that left hip out to the side. On your next exhale, lower your left foot down to meet your right. Soften, surrender over your legs. Find movement if that would feel good. I love to rock from side to side here. If that feels nice in your body, go ahead and feel it. And then come to stillness. Bend your knees, exhale, roll your way up. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's set that up one last time, resetting Tadasana if you need to. Staying engaged, staying strong, staying open. Inhale to sweep your hands to the sky. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Plant your hands. Inhale to sweep your left leg to the sky. Now we're going to have a little yoga playground here. So you have choices. You can find that pulse, coiling and then extending. You're also welcome to deepen standing split. So maybe your right hand comes to the back of that right leg. Maybe that left hand does as well, and we move toward unsupported. On your next exhale, we're going to step that left foot back and lower the left knee all the way down. Walk your hands up your right knee. Inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. Now this time, we'll shift our hips back, letting those right toes rise, reach behind you. Inhale to open. Exhaling, shifting back, right toes rise. Inhaling to open. On this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Turn your left toes under, lift that back knee. Step back, downward facing dog. Stabilize here, inhale to look forward. Exhale, roll your body out to plank. On your exhale, drop your heels to the right. Maybe that left hand comes to your heart, maybe it sweeps up and over. And then back to center. Inhale, heels to the left. Right hand comes to that heart, maybe up and over. And back to center. So just flowing from side to side, a little bit of fun with Vashisthasana. Try to wrap up on your left side. Knees lifted or lowered. Chaturanga. Come down to the mat. Let's walk our toes back and find a nice big opening here. Fingertips can be wide. Roll your shoulders out. Nice, big, beautiful circles. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders. Turn your toes under, press back. Downward facing dog. Bring your toes to touch. Inhale to sweep your left leg to the sky. This time bend that knee, press your heel over to the right. Exhale to soften a little bit. Inhaling, opening, extending. And exhale. So just pulsing right here. On your next exhale, coil your left knee in, shift forward, place that foot, lower your right knee all the way down, and walk your hands up. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, shift back, left toes rise. Inhaling, full moon arms. Exhaling, shifting back. On this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Turn your right toes under, lift that back knee. Shift your weight into your left foot. You can find your blocks if you were using them. And then inhale, float that right leg to the sky. Exhale to coil knee to knee. Yogi's choice this round. So maybe we pulse, maybe we sustain. Maybe we deepen, bringing that left hand to the back of the left leg. Maybe that right hand joins us for unsupported standing split. And then with control, we lower that right leg down and surrender. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Nice and loosey-goosey. Remember, you can always find your elbows and dangle and ragdoll. Try to let your head and your neck relax. And then come back to center, to stillness. Bend your knees. Exhale, roll your way all the way up. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. And release them down. Now, just because I haven't taught this particular group of us before, and normally the way I base a class is by seeing how everyone's practices are going, and I can't see you. I'm coming closer to the screen. Could I see some thumbs? Are we okay with effort level and pace, or do we need to go down? We're good? Okay, fantastic. As you were then. So from here, we're going to do a little bit of work with standing balance. Let me adjust my screen one more time. So I'd like you to find enough space where we can do standing big toe pose. So you're going to want enough room to spread out in multiple directions. And of course, we'll start on that right side. So start by rooting that right foot down to the mat. Engage your belly, shoulders, roll back and down. And let's find some hip mandalas first. So let's draw that left knee in. Begin to find some big, beautiful circles with that left knee. So just drawing huge hip circles. Nice and slowly, of course. Now on one of those passes around, we're going to catch that left knee and flex the foot. If standing balance is a challenge area for you, maybe you stay right here. If you'd like to add on, you can bring your left peace fingers to that left big toe. On your inhale, press into that heel. Now, re-engage your core, stay lifted through the spine. Stay right here or open out to the side. Now we always choose the straight spine over the straight leg. So you'll notice that mine is bent. This is my extension on the right, and that's totally okay. We're gonna stay lifted and engaged. Inhale, come back to center, and preferably more gracefully than I just did, set your left foot down. So wiggle it out right here. Let's feel that on the other side. Root your left foot to the mat. And then stack, strong core, open heart, nice and centered. Draw your right knee in. Begin to find some hip circles, some mandalas. Now once again, on one of these passes around, we're going to catch that right knee. And we'll flex that foot, and maybe you stay right here, cultivating balance. Maybe you move toward big toe pose. Our peace fingers find that toe, re-engage, and then inhale, press into that right heel. Stay here or open out. And again, straight spine over straight leg. And come back to center. With control, release that foot down and wiggle it out. Let's take a nice broad stance on the mat. So coming to the wide side of the mat, let's let our feet be nice and wide. We're going to let them be parallel so they're both facing forward. On your inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Let's sink over to the right-hand side. Press the edge of your left foot away. Inhale to center and over to the left. And we're just going to flow from side to side here. Flowing Skandasana is nice for opening the hips and the inner thighs. Now you have options, so you can float your hands here. If you would like a deeper opening, you can come all the way down and let that opposite toe point up. It just depends on what feels good in your body today. Come back to center. We're going to walk our hands all the way to the right side, letting that right foot face the front of the room. Inhale it up, Vira 2. So settle your warrior 2. Take a moment to sink deeply into that right knee. And then we're going to radiate our arms out. Heart is facing the broad side, so we're all open here. Flip your right hand to face the sky, reverse warrior. On this exhale, we'll dive that right arm underneath. Superman your arms for that deeper expression, and then inhale up and back. Exhaling, diving. Inhaling up and back. On this next exhale, We're going to sustain. So we'll plant that right hand. Lower your left arm down. And then inhale, peel your heart open. Exhaling to lower. So just a little arm vinyasa right here. On this next exhale, both hands come down and to the inside. Pivot on your left foot, lower your left knee down. And we're going to play with lizard pose here. So if this is a tight place for you, you might want a block to place your forearms on. I'll demo that real quick. You can come down to the inside, coming to your forearms supported. Or if it's open for you, come all the way down to your forearms on the mat. Begin to hug that right knee toward that shoulder. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, coiling. You can stay with that back knee down or lift it for a little more heat. On your next exhale, lower that left knee down. We're going to walk those hands up and back, right toes rise. Half monkey pose. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, bow over that extended right leg. Inhaling to open. Walk your hands forward, tabletop first, placing our hands, and then turning our toes under. Let's press back to plank. On this exhale, we'll drop our heels off to the right, float that left hand to the sky. Now maybe this time we float that upper knee, that left knee. Exhaling back to center, coming over to the left, floating that right hand, maybe floating the right knee. Inhaling back to center and over. Come back to center. Lower your knees, set them wide, and sink your hips toward your heels. Child's pose. Rest your head. You can rock around a little bit here if that would feel good. Come back to your breath, back to your intention. And then as you are ready, make your way back to downward facing dog. On your inhale, step your left foot forward between your hands and walk your hands to the broad side of the mat. So we're going to play around a little bit with flowing skandasana again. So your options, just so you remember, are to shift from side to side. You can have your arms unsupported and find expression. You're also welcome to come down to the deeper stretch, letting that opposite toe point up. There is no wrong answer here. There is just what your practice needs today, what your body needs. And And then find your way all the way over to that left-hand side, turning that left foot to face the front of the mat. Pivot your right foot back and down. Exhaling up, find your E-RYT. So once again, take a moment to settle, to sink. Open your heart to the broad side of your body, radiate your arms. Flip your left hand to face the sky. Inhale, sweep up and back. Exhale, dive that left arm underneath the left knee. Inhaling up and back. And exhaling. And we'll just follow this through a few more breaths. On your next exhale, let's plant that left hand. So we'll stabilize here and then inhale, peel that right arm open, reaching to the sky. Exhaling, lowering that hand down. Inhale, peel, wrist, elbow, shoulder, shoulder, sky. On your next exhale, both hands come to the inside, pivot on your right foot, come down to your right knee. So once again, we're going to work into lizard pose here. So you can add a block for underneath your arms if you'd like, or you can just come down to that mat. Now once you've found this hip stretch, try to soften. On your exhale, hug your left knee toward your left shoulder. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling, scooping in and coiling. Remember that you can keep that that right knee down, or you can turn your toes under and lift the back knee. On your next exhale, lower that right knee down, walk your hands up and shift back, left toes rise. Half monkey pose just to stretch it out. Inhale to lengthen. Exhaling, bowing over that left leg. Inhaling to create length. From here, walk your hands forward, knees come together, and start just by taking a seat. I'm going to talk us through the next little bit of practice because you're going to be on your own pace and your own adventure here. So we've been playing around with half plank all day. I've been working us toward wild thing. So I'm going to demo that. I'm going to demo all of your options as we move through here. Now in wild thing, it takes a lot of rotation of the shoulder joint. If that's not comfortable in your body, stay in one of the variations of side plank. So we'll start wherever we are by coming to plank. And then we can move through these steps on the journey at any pace that feels good. So maybe we stay right here. Maybe we float that hand. Maybe we float the foot. This time, you have an option to reach down and find your right big toe and go for full extension of Vashisthasana. This is if rotational movements are tough on your shoulder. If they're not, step that foot behind you and turn your heart to the sky. And then come back to center. And we would then feel that on the other side. So I'm going to give us a few minutes to play. Wherever you would like to be is correct. Also, child's pose and giving me dirty looks is always an option. So find your way to whatever pose feels good. And I'll just talk us through in case that helps. So we're going to come to plank, drop our heels off to the right, float that left hand to the sky. Maybe we stay here. Maybe we float. Maybe we find that toe. Maybe we step that left foot wide. and open out. And then we would feel that on the other side, stepping wide and finding that back bend. And let me mute whoever that is real quick. Okay. Now there is no pressure here, but when you are done with Yoga Playground, make your way to Child's Pose or to the rest pose of your choice. From your Child's Pose or rest pose, walk your hands back. Take a seat and then sweep your feet around to the front. Let's draw the soles of our feet together, meeting in Baddha Konasana, in butterfly pose. And we're just going to enjoy the benefit of those open hips with a nice deep stretch here. Inhale, create plenty of length, sit tall. On your exhale, keeping your spine long, begin to hinge forward from the hips. When you find that spot where you are no longer moving with a flat back, then surrender into this space. Remember that you can peel your feet open like a book. You're also welcome to bring your elbows to your inner thighs or to your shins or these are calves. That's what the word for these is. And press down to help open all the way out. Gently roll your way back up to seated. So for the inversion sequence, inversions are different depending on your body. For me, shoulder stand is not comfortable, so I'm going to opt for a forearm handstand today. So let's talk through options. An accessible inversion, if you don't have a ton of inversion practice, is legs up the wall being the air quotes here, right? Just pressing our feet to the sky. If shoulder stand is comfortable in your body, you're welcome to make your way there. So in our shoulder stand, we would be pressing our feet nice and high. And again, this doesn't feel great in my body. I have some Marine Corps injuries that get in the way of that. So if you have a wall available to you to practice with, you're welcome to come to the wall and do an inversion there. We are open for handstand. We're open for forearm handstand. Any of those would work fine. I'm just giving everyone a little time for their inversion sequence. And then as you are ready, begin to make your way back down to your mat. And we'll roll all the way down onto our backs if we're not already there. Draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side, nice and gently. Come to stillness at the center and lower the soles of your feet to your mat. Just beneath your glutes, reach your arms long, palms face down. On your inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips for bridge pose. If you would like to walk your shoulders underneath and interlace your fingers, you're welcome to find that deeper expression of back bend. Also, if I have any full wheel people, you're welcome to take Chakrasana here. On your next exhale, walk those shoulders out. If they're under, roll down vertebra by vertebra. Draw your knees in and rock from side to side. We have been in hips all practice. Feel free to find your toes and open out to happy baby. Just rocking from side to side if that feels good. Come back to center. Draw your knees together over your chest. Open your arms out to either side. Drop your knees off to your right hand side and turn your head to look to the left. Remember to position your knees above your waistline to get the best stretch to your lower back. Inhale to come to center. Exhale to drop your knees off to the left and turn your head to look to the right. Just enjoying this supine twist. And then find your way back to center. Now, if there is any additional movement, any asana, anything you would like to feel before we close our practice today, that's what goes right here. So maybe it's an inversion or a forward fold. It might be a nice deep stretch to the back of one leg or to both. But whatever you need today, whatever you're feeling the call to do, that's what goes right here. And then as you are ready, simply begin to make your way toward your Shavasana. Remembering, of course, that you have many options here, so you can lie flat on your mat. You can bring your feet to the distance of the mat and let your knees fall together, supporting your lower back. You're also welcome to gather up blankets or bolsters and place them in whatever position feels best. And of course, seated meditation is always an option. So, begin to settle your body. And once you have come to stillness, draw your awareness to where your body is being supported, all those little points of connection. Begin to soften. Everywhere you are touching another surface, just feel those spots melt. Let your shoulder blades melt as well. They might even position themselves a little lower on the mat. Feel all of that length in the back of your neck. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes and your forehead. And if you find yourself drawn into a thought cycle during this time of integration, simply acknowledge and then come back to the feeling of breath moving in your body. Allow your breath to create space within your body. Begin to feel some little movements of your fingertips and your toes. Just bringing you back to this day, to this time. Point your toes away, reach your arms up overhead, take a deep breath in, full body stretch. And then exhale, draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Eventually find your way all the way over onto your right side and just soften into the posture of the sleeping child. You can rest your head on your right arm if that would feel good. Now right here in this space that you have created, begin to tune in to that wonderful spring energy of the earth. Around us right now, everything is opening and growing. And we can feel that energy as well. So from your right side, from that surface contact with the earth, begin to breathe in some of that hopeful, vibrant, green spring energy. And then whenever you are ready and you feel your practice is complete, use your hands to help press yourself up to a nice, easy seated position. And then bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. We'll close our practice today with a round of Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, a prayer for peace. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this morning. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you for joining me, everyone. I'm going to come up real quick and
Thank you,
unmute
Irene.
everybody's mics. Here we go. And you can also unmute yours manually if you've muted it. Thank you so much for joining me today, my friends. It's so good to see you all. Oh, and let me take this off of Spotlight. Cancel Spotlight. Stop recording.